Hello, 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 and welcome to the World Series of Poker Final Table. Jeff Platt got us here, and we are down to our final nine. Event number 10, the $600 No Limit Hold'em Monster Stack. And we have a monster final table for you. Our overwhelming chip leader is Bill Luga. That's Eric Blair. 5 cashes this series, 4 World Series of Poker final tables, 2.1 million in lifetime earnings, 2 circuit rings, still looking for bracelet number 1. Does that come tonight? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry making a return trip to the final table. This is back-to-back nights, back-to-back final tables for I'm sorry, finished in second place last night. Does he close it? Well, he's short stacked with just 3 million chips. Over 80 million chips in play here. This was a monster stack. Players started with 40,000 chips. Levels are 15 minutes long. Thank you so much for joining us. We had 1,505 unique entries, 569 rebuys. And if you're wondering who my guest is tonight, who my co-pilot is, it's you. That's right, it's you. We're going to do Friday night chat night. So I see you, Habs for Life. What's up, baby dog? Coach Curly. You pay for my shoes. Marshak. Calcano. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. So it'll be us, right? So I'll be paying a little bit more attention to the chat. Texas Molly. You know who that is? Sam frickin' Grizzle. Who? Okay, a couple of nights ago, Alan Gehring wins, right? And tonight, Sam Grizzle makes a final table. Are you kidding me? Sam Grizzle? I mean, tomorrow night, Johnny Moss is going to be at the final table? What is going on? For those of you who don't know who Sam Grizzle is, he is the original arch nemesis for Phil Hellmuth. I want to say it was the 2003 World Series of Poker on ESPN. Maybe it was the 2002. And the two of them are going at it. From that moment, Sam Grizzle was one of my favorite poker players out there. That's Texas Molly on the right side of your screen. What are they playing for you? There you have it. Sam Grizzle on PokerGo, smiling. Like to see that. I was about to describe him. I was going to say he kind of looks the way he sounds. Sam Grizzle. Got a raise, got an all-in from Grebnets. He's going to take that one down. Blinds are a whopping 200,000, 400,000. There are not that many chips in play. I mean, average stack, what, about 20 big blinds right now? And the levels are going up in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. James DeBear shouting out, it was the 2003 World Series of Poker. I can't believe, I mean, we have seen so many amazing performances in the first 10 days of this World Series of Poker series. I'm sorry, making a final table yesterday, came in second place yesterday, and here he is at the final table again. How about Robert Kuhn? Every time I turn on Poker News or WSOP.com and I check out the news and I'm like, okay, who's doing well? Robert Kuhn is top 10 in chips. Today he finished in 19th place. Yeah, Norman Chad said it was Grizzle versus Helmet, the 2003 main event, and they had history before that. Yeah, that was, I mean, I think for a lot of us, obviously, the 2003 World Series of Poker is where many of us really fell in love with poker. I've been playing poker for a long time before that, but the Chris Moneymaker year, Dutch Boyd, Sam Grizzle, the characters that we saw, the stories that were told that year, just phenomenal. And of course, we make fun of Norman Chad because we like to, but the commentary team of Lon McCarron and Norman Chad really just cherry on top of that particular year. I can watch those episodes anytime. I mean, to me, it's like Shawshank Redemption. If it's on TV, I'm watching it. You see me repping the hockey jersey because hockey is back. That's right. Pretty excited about that. As you can see, blinds 200,000, 400,000. Remaining 9 players, all guaranteed 14,000 $233. First place, $172,000. This was our first $1 million prize pool. 1,505 unique players. We had 569 rebuys and a total of 2,074 entries. 330 were paid. A min cash was $895. There's action is on Bill Luga right now. Once again, that's Eric Blair. I'm sorry, by the way, is Ryan Togerson. We had a feeling, I had heard that was him last night, but we don't want to say a name here on the official stream unless we are absolutely 100% sure of it. So we want to make sure it's always confirmed before we come out and say it. Action folds around. Grebnets is going to take that one down. Grebnets, by the way, that is Brent Roberts. Duck flush, by the way, Nick Pupillo. $600 was the buy-in on this bad boy. And of course, you started with 40,000 chips, the monster stack, which is the reason why we're starting so late. You pay for my shoes, says, will you pay for my shoes? Sure, why not? Ace King, Ace Jack. A lot of diamonds out there. Neither player with a diamond, a 10 or a king for Logan. And unfortunately, that does not come for Logan. Gets it in good. An unfortunate flop for him, and he is out in 9th place. Take home $14,223. I'm going to go on a limb and say that maybe they have a daughter or a son named Logan. So this is for Logan. Congratulations. Tough way to get knocked out. Obviously, you get an Ace King versus Ace Jack. You're feeling pretty good. Thinking maybe I can make a run at this. An unfortunate flop. And we've got another all in here. Queen deuce versus Jack 4. How did this happen? Queen high is good. Double up from I'm sorry. Once again, that's Ryan Togerson. Blinds now 250,000, 500,000. Ace Queen versus 9-10. The all-ins are furious. Pair of nines here. Duck flush looking for help on the river. Doesn't get that. And fat stacks has a slightly fatter stack right now. Up to 7.6 million. Duck flush down to 8.5 million. If you come here looking for post-flop play, this might not be the stream for you. But if you want to see action, you want to have fun, stick with us. We'll probably only be here for about an hour, hour and a half tops. And one of these lucky 8 players will win a bracelet. Get a raise here from Eric Blair. Min raise to 1 million chips. We'll see if Brent Roberts decides to call. He does make the call. 9 high flop. Well, here you have it. Some post-flop play. Continuation bet from Bill Luga, a.k.a. Eric Blair. A call. Pot is now 4.2 million. Queen of hearts on the turn. Check, check. 6 diamonds on the river. Something tells me that Eric Blair has something here. He's facing a 2.35 million bet and immediately folds. My read, spot on as always, right? Grebnet's up to 11 million chips. Bill Luga, Eric Blair down to 17.2 million chips. Our short stack is still I'm sorry. Don't feel bad for him. He finished in 2nd place last night. Oh, I got the chat going crazy about hockey. I'm sorry. Let's try to stay on point here. Let's focus on the World Series of Poker. We can talk about hockey later on. 3 a.m. in Denver, Baby Dog says, yeah, this early. I mean, it's 2:15 in the morning here, and I'm in Los Angeles. So, but for those of you in Europe, good morning. Have yourself a spot of tea, a little bit of toast. We're going to be here. First place, $172,000, and of course, a World Series of Poker bracelet. Adopted says, I'm sorry, running hot. Yeah, no doubt. That's kind of been the story. I feel like every night I look up and it's the same names over and over again. Some notables that cashed in this event, by the way, Anthony Zeno, Jeff Gross, Jason Somerville making another deep run, Carrie Katz, Ian Steinman. I mean, do they just let Ian Steinman buy in when they're already in the money? A Poker Joker. Every time I look up, Ian Steinman's got chips. He cashed again. Robert Kuhn, as I mentioned, finished 19th. And then, of course, the Sam Grizzle appearance here. Just mind-boggling. 2 nights ago, we see Alan Gehring win. And then here, of course, Sam Grizzle. Norman Chad must have a great Sam Grizzle story. What do you got for us, Norman? Let's get it. 888. It's going to take that one down. Norman Chad, ESPN, says, Helmuth on the Grizzle fight. One day he asked me to save him a seat in the game while he went to eat. After 90 minutes, I made the casino stop taking his $9 every 30 minutes because so much time had passed. And then he shows up and the game is full. Ugh. So he wants to fight me. I say, well, you better do it this week while my back is out. And suddenly I'm in my first and only fist fight I've ever had in the poker world. We both land punches, but next day, not a mark on either of us. Ace King versus Queens. There's the ace. I'm sorry. You can't get rid of this guy. You just can't get rid of him. Fat Stacks back down to 1.8 million. What a cooler there. Queens versus Ace King. Hand's going to play that way every single time. And I'm sorry. Doubles up with his raggy hand against Eric Blair, and then the Ace King with the ace on the river. Nettie 111. He's not sorry. Yeah, I don't think he is. Gunner Poker. Gunner Poker made a run this series as well. He's in the chat. Says Togerson going to win this. What a crusher. Ramsey says, not a cooler, just a flip. Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, I mean, when you have queens, there's such a wide variety of hands your opponent could be going in with. I mean, 10s, jacks, 9s, ace queen. He doesn't need to have ace king. So in that regard, I mean, you know, both players kind of got unlucky in the sense that they're up against, they have such strong hands and they're flipping rather than dominating their opponent. Ferris 2000 says, is I'm sorry Canadian? Must be. Well played. Well played. Beluga with the raise. I'm sorry. Now has some ammo. He's going to move all in, and he's up to 12.4 million. What is happening? I'm sorry, of course, lost to Mac Daddy, Ron McMillan. More on him later. By the way, McDaddy 15 also cashed again tonight. Stick with us, though. Get a raise here from Fat Stacks. He is all in for his last 1.8 million. There's the call. Ace 4 versus Queen 10. A Queen of 10 or a 9 will eliminate Fat Stacks. 5 of clubs. Ace high holds. Fat Stacks up to 4.2 million. Remember when I said we'd only be here for about an hour, hour and a half? Well, if the short stacks keep doubling up, maybe we'll be here for an hour and 45 minutes. So as I said, I'm going solo tonight because I want my co-commentator, I want the co-pilot tonight to be you. Like old school, when I used to do the black booth, Ace King versus Ace Queen, duck flush, looking for a queen or he's out. The King of Diamonds, what a hand this was. Eric Blair now up to over 21 million chips, and duck flush, who had heaps, is gone. Just like that. Gone in 8th place. That is a Nick Pupillo, who finishes in 8th place. He'll take home $18,367. So kind of old school. If you remember the World Series of Poker broadcast from 2013, 14, 15, I used to be in a black booth. I often had some amazing guests, but usually midnight, 1 in the morning would roll around and there was nobody at the Rio. So I would do it solo. But you guys, chat, back at that point, there was no chat. It was just Twitter feed. You guys kept me company. So I figure Friday nights for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have just no guest. It's going to be you guys. Grebnets all in. That's Brent Roberts. He's going to take it down up to 13.1 million. Remaining 7 players, all guaranteed $24,000. James DeBear points out that was before Twitch got big. I think that was before Twitch existed, right? I mean, it was definitely before Twitch was bought by Amazon. Ferris 2000 says, I missed Tuck and Bart Hansen on the old Live at the Bike streams. Those were some great times. Yeah, those were. Man, that was like another lifetime ago. It's pretty amazing when you think about it that my first poker commentary gig on Live at the Bike was more than 15 years ago at this point. Cheers. Got some action brewing here. How about a multi-way pot? Unless Texas Molly, he's going to call. Sam Grizzle has been notoriously quiet at this final table so far. Fat Stacks is all in for his last 2.4 million. Everybody getting a pretty good price. I'd be surprised to see this get through, but we'll see. Action on I'm Sorry. This is Sam Grizzle's first World Series of Poker final table since 1841. No, since 1999. Thank you, Norman Chad, for that. All in from I'm Sorry. King 10 versus 9-10. The straight does not get there for Fat Stacks. And the King High holds. He obviously had a flush draw as well. Didn't need it. King High, good enough. I'm Sorry, up to 18 million. Fat Stacks. Well, his wallet's a little fatter right now. He just earned himself $24,000, or we're down to 6. Sam Grizzle's first World Series of Poker final table since 1999. Congratulations to Texas Molly. Sam freaking Grizzle. And this just a couple of days after Alan Gehring wins. Stozy Poke says that's amazing. He must have been working on his game a ton if he's gotten here in this day and age. Or he just got lucky. Luck still big part of the game, right? That's what's great about poker. Blind still 250,000, 500,000 for another 2 minutes. Then we'll go up to 300, 600. Ooh, Lagri says Grizzle had legendary heads-up matches with Teddy Roosevelt. Brent Harrington in the chat. Shout out to my man Harrington. We're going to get him in here for commentary at some point. Harrington says, or Sam Grizzle was always getting unlucky. Maybe he was just running bad for the last 20 years. And now he's going to get really hot. Certainly possible. The big stacks battling here. Pretty amazing considering I'm Sorry was the short stack with, I want to say, at least 8 left, possibly even 9. Rachu2 says, supposedly Grizzle fought Helmuth in a parking lot before and won. Yeah, we talked about that. Queen high flop. We'll see a little bit of action. Blind on blind here. Check, check. Ace of spades on the turn. I'm Sorry, should have a lot more aces in his range than Grebnets, and we'll see how this is played out. Just going to check one more time. I mean, considering the Grebnets did not raise, he really shouldn't be hitting this board at all that often. Now the king of spades on the river, though. A 10 certainly a possibility for either one of these players. Check, check. Yeah, I'm sorry. He did have a strong hand. He had nines. He was kind of trapping Grebnets with the raggy queen. Just very content to get the showdown. Story checks out. Puppy Butter 73. What's up, my man? Puppy Butter says tuck bracelet or $10 million. Well, how much am I winning in the bracelet? I need more information. I mean, can I choose which bracelet I win? I mean, $10 million is a lot of money. Evening, Card Boy. The original Card Boy. That is Ronnie. We brought up live at the bike before. So way back when, before like RFID cards and all that good stuff, we used cameras, right? Well, you guys can give a shout out and say hi to Card Boy Original, who's in the chat. He was the original Card Boy. His name is Ronnie, and he actually used to input the cards manually. Not an easy job. I mean, those cards had to come up super quick, and he had some fast fingers. Stozy Poke says, Tuck, Islander fan, though? Because they're good now, be honest. No, dude, I'm from New York, man. Me and Jason Somerville, diehard Islander fans. Please, I have like 4 Islander jerseys. I've worn my Islander jersey playing poker, I don't know, a dozen times on live streams. Carlos Dangerfield says, take the 10 million and you're going to get multiple bracelets eventually anyways. It's hard for me to get multiple bracelets since I cover the World Series each and every summer. I like to think that's the only reason I don't have multiple bracelets. Kings versus Ace Queen. There's a queen. Another queen. Oh, no. Texas Molly. Oh, you got to be kidding me. What a run out. What a run out. Stop the madness. Oh, that was awesome. Ace Queen versus Kings. Queen on the flop, queen on the turn. It looked like Texas Molly had one foot out the door, but hits the 2-outer on the river. I mean, it was all in pre-flop, but man, that was an exciting run out. Stop it. Just stop it. Sam Grizzle is our chip leader with 6 left. This is the Twilight Zone. Once again, if you missed it, Alan Gehring, by the way, made the World Series of Poker main event final table in 1999. That's right, 1999, finished runner-up to Noel Furlong. Then a couple of years later, he makes the WPT final table. 2003, I think it was the year where he won the WPT championship, the 25K buy-in. That was a final table with like Phil Ivey, Doyle Brunson, just stacked. And Alan Gehring, who wore these signature glasses because at one point, Norman Chad told me the story, at one point he had eye surgery or something and needed to wear these glasses. So he always wore them for good luck. Alan Gehring is like a junk bonds guy, right? Anyway, he had never had a bracelet to his name. 21 years after he makes the main event final table and finishes runner-up to Noel Furlong, he finally wins his first bracelet. Sam Grizzle, 21 years after he makes a World Series of Poker final table, could he win his first bracelet? This is insane. You Never Learn says, impressive, I'm sorry, is back again. Just ridiculous. So impressive. I'm sorry, finished second last night. 24 hours ago, he was here playing for a bracelet. Brent Harrington says, imagine that hand live. Would have been sick. I feel like it was sick here too. Okay, it's not live, but that was still fun. Sign me up. Just inject more of that into my veins directly. I love this stuff. Ace, queen, ace, 7. That pot didn't get as big as I thought it might. Eric Blair, Bill Luga up to 24.8 million chips. He retakes the chip lead. Grebretz. I'm never going to get that guy's name right, but it's Brent Roberts. He's all in now for 6.8 million. Sounds like a lot, but then you realize the blinds are 300,000, 600,000, and you go, well, I guess it's not that much. Big Handsome says, Bill Luga doesn't shove river. Big mistake. You know, hindsight's 2020. I'm going to give Bill Luga, Eric Blair, the benefit of the doubt. I mean, this guy has 5 cashes this series, 4 World Series of Poker final tables, 2 circuit rings. Eric Blair might know what he's doing at the poker table. Just going to go on a limb here. Stosy Pokes, booked, done. I'm in. Sign me up. Again, blinds 300,000, 600,000. Brent Roberts, Grebneretz. Going to let it go. Texas Molly. Going to give, let's get it, 888 a walk. I'm sorry, he's all in. Queens versus 9s. Do the Queens hold? They do. Big pot there. I'm sorry, doubles up to 12.5 million. Let's get it. Still okay with 11.7. Just under 20 big blinds now. All in. Brent Roberts here, all in for his last 7.5 million. Oh, ace king versus the 8s. The river's the ace. Oh, the river has been so kind to Sam Grizzle, and Texas Molly sends Brent Roberts to the rail. Grebneretz takes home $31,918. And then there were 5. Radio Dave says it's regrets. That makes more sense. Yeah, thank you. That makes more sense. I mean, I used to cover online tournaments like way back. I still cover them, but I used to cover them way back. And my go-to is butchering people's names. Like, it can be really obvious, and I'll add an extra letter in there, and I'll just read it wrong. James DeBear says, shut it down and give it to Sam. Good night, everyone. Drop the mic. Texas Molly, Sam Grizzle, 28.7 million chips. Sam Grizzle, by the way, does have 1.3 million in career live tournament winnings. Probably has 4 million in tournament live buy-ins, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry, in a hand versus Texas Molly right now. This is a flop that certainly should favor, I'm sorry, Ryan Togerson. He bets 895,000. See what Texas Molly does, makes the call. 10 of diamonds on the turn, pot now 5.1 million. A check from Grizzle. Ryan Togerson, I'm sorry. Check, check. 10 on the river. Texas Molly with a nice hefty bet here, 3.8 million. That is not a small bet. And a significant portion of I'm sorry stack. What does he do? Diamonds got there. Ryan Togerson in the tank. Still in the tank. We're all waiting. Don't apologize. Take your time. So while we wait for I'm sorry to decide what he was doing, Sam Grizzle, Texas Molly, 1.3 million in live earnings, 145 tournament cashes, not all in the World Series, obviously, dating back to 1988. A fold from I'm sorry, Texas Molly, up to 32.1 million. He has 34 World Series of poker cashes for 253,000. His last win was back in 2000. He won 52,000 in the first annual Jack Binion World Poker Open. That was a 1,500 limit hold'em tournament where he won $53,000. Ace 4, King, Queen. Here's the river. It's an ace. I'm telling you, these aces on the river each and every time. Omni 27 doubles up to 10.6 million. Eric Blair, Bill Luga still healthy on 19 million. Omni, by the way, Omni 27 is Brandon Iron. Has $93,512 in career live earnings, 12 World Series of Poker cashes, totaling 34,000. So this is by far his most impressive run as a poker player so far. We'll see how it plays out. I'm sorry in the tank on this one. We saw these guys get it in with Jack 4 versus what, Queen Deuce earlier. I'm sorry, not that deep right now at the blinds at 300,000, 600,000. He makes the call. Ace 7 versus King 3. There's a king. Any other ace on the river? Not this time. And I'm sorry, with the double up, he's up to 18 million, and Eric Blair now down to 10.4 million. How frustrating it must be for Eric Blair. 4 World Series of Poker final tables. This is his 5th final table, and still looking for that elusive bracelet. All in from Let's Get It 888. That's going to get through. Don't know anything about Let's Get It 888. JB Johnny says, hey, Jeff Platt, did you see that? King 2 wins there. And of course, a shout, our own Jeff Platt, who does a great job commentating on this event each and every night. He picks up the action on his own Twitch channel. You can check it out, twitch.tv/Jeff Platt. Picks it up at 10 p.m. Pacific time each and every night, and he takes it all the way through to the final table. Scheduling note, tomorrow night is a turbo, so everything's going to be earlier. I think Jeff's going to go on at 8 p.m. Pacific, and we'll probably get going at maybe 10 o'clock even. So it'll be super quick tomorrow. Anyway, shout out to Jeff Platt, who finished 7th in an event a few days ago, and the hand he got knocked out with was King Deuce. Brocky 200 pointing out Omni is playing so tight. Hey, man, you can make money. You actually make money by folding at a final table. Ace King versus King Queen. Let's get it. In trouble? Not anymore. Wow, what a river. 10 of clubs on the river, and I'm sorry, makes Broadway. Needed an ace or a 10 on the river. And just like that, I was about to say, the worst hand keeps winning, but not there. I'm sorry, falls behind, hits Broadway on the river, and eliminates. Let's get it. Well, let's get it. You just got $42,558, and we're down to 4. We have 2 players with over 30 million. One of them's I'm sorry. 8-5 versus 10s. Not looking good for I'm sorry. No, 10s full. That'll do it for that'll be a good enough for Omni 27. And he gets the full double up to 18.9 million. I'm sorry, back to 23.4 million. Again, I'm sorry, Ryan Togerson finished in 2nd place last night. Carlos Dangerfield says these rivers are dramatic. Yeah, no doubt. I'm kind of glad I don't have a guest tonight because the action has just been crazy. I mean, can you imagine a guest coming on and trying to analyze this? Every time you'd be like, well, I think it's a king. Well, I mean, maybe you could play it. Oh, another ace on the river. Norman Chad points out this is Sam Grizzle's best World Series of Poker result ever. Sevens versus King Queen to the sevens hold. No, another dramatic river. Boom. Who pressed the dramatic button tonight? Eric Blair was one card away from elimination, and now he's back up to 20.7 million chips. You never learn says nothing holds. Nothing is real. We live in a sim. Four-handed. We don't have an all-in here. It's just a raise and a fold. JB Johnny says, note the self, get it in bad. Well, in all fairness, a lot of the hands are holding up. They're just falling behind on the flop and then catching up. I mean, I'm sorry, I had ace-king versus king-queen. He was ahead. Then his opponent hit a queen. Then he hits a 10 for Broadway. It's Andrew time, too. Says all the holds have gone to Robert Kuhn already. Yeah, Robert Kuhn, a.k.a. Bustin' Balls, just having a phenomenal World Series of Poker online bracelet series. Once again, we're going to be here every single night in July. Most nights I'm going to have a guest. But Friday nights, I think Friday nights particularly, it's going to be Friday night chat night. I like talking to you guys. A little bit more energy. We don't have to deal with the, the communication and the lag. All in here for Omni 27. Fold, fold. 4 players still remain. 57,229 to our next casualty. Once again, per Norman Chad, this is Sam Grizzle's best performance at a World Series of Poker event ever. I've got a bevy of things that I want to say, and I'm afraid to take my eyes off the screen. We're seeing a flop here, though. 10-4-4, 2 spades out there. Little blind on blind action. These players fairly close in chips. We're just going to get a check fold. Shout out to a couple of guys named from Poker News, Brandon Temple and Anthony Thompson. These guys are working 12 hours pretty much every single day covering these events. I know it seems weird, reporters covering online events, but if you go to Poker News, you can see what they've been doing. They've been tracking down who the players are, coming up with some great stories. So kind of the unsung heroes in the poker world. So Brandon Temple, Anthony Thompson, here's to you. Thanks for doing a great job, guys. Mr. Awkward 123 has told a story. I've got to read if I don't know who you are, I have to read the story first before I can just read it out loud. A little bit of a screening going on. If I know who you are and I trust you, you can get me to read something really ridiculous because I'll just trust you and I'll read it and then I'll be like, really? Get a raise here and a 3-bet from Texas Molly. I'm sorry, is second in chips. The play has been, fast and furious, but you can't lose the fact that the pay differences are enormous. I mean, the difference between second and fourth place, just under $50,000. So if you can just survive, it makes a lot of sense. I've heard the story, but it's worth repeating. It's a good one, Mr. Awkward. I'm sorry, battling it up with Texas Molly. Once again, that's Ryan Togerson and the one and only Sam Grizzle. Pot now 7 million. 9 of diamonds doesn't look to change much. Pretty dry flop. Queen 7-4 rainbow. It'll be interesting to see if I'm sorry fires another bullet here. He does. So we saw him shut down earlier on. This time he fires 2 bullets, though. And he gets Grizzle to fold. I'm sorry, up to 26 million. Grizzle's still our chip leader with 30 million. Mr. Awkward 123 says, Sam Grizzle was once spotted in the Rio bathroom during dinner break. And Eskimo Clark, rest in peace, walked in. Sam asked Eskimo if he wanted to swap a percentage in the tournament going on. Eskimo said, sure. Then some random dude said, hey, Sam, I don't know about that swap. Eskimo busted out 10 minutes ago. I saw it. Sam looked at the guy and said, that's fine. I didn't even enter the tournament. Well played. I like that. Thank you, Mr. Awkward 123. 4 players still in event number 10, the $600 No Limit Hold'em Monsterstack. Reminder, we are back at it tomorrow night and every single night in the month of July. Tomorrow night is a $500 No Limit Hold'em Turbo Deep Stack. It's a 6-max. The play starts at 3 p.m. And I think that we'll probably get to that final table pretty early. So if you want to watch, make sure you follow WSOP on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Tuck on Sports. You can check it out on Poker News. But it should be an early night. I'm the 27 all in for 7.9 million. And there's the fold. Aggro Knit says a lot of Sam Grizzle stories out there. Yeah, if you've never read Mike Sexton's book, it's a really good read. It's not a poker strategy book. It's just a story. It's a book about all these amazing stories. And some of my most enjoyable times in the commentary booth have been with some old school players that I can just hear these great stories. I want to thank you all for joining us. It's Twitch Chat Friday. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, that's great. You are welcome to. If you want to join the conversation, we are over on Twitch. Norman Chad in the chat. It's a late one here, 2:48 in the morning. Good morning to those of you in Europe. Maybe good morning to you on the East Coast. Event number 10, down to our final 4 players. We had 2,079, I want to say. 2,074 entries. I'm sorry. Up to 30 million. He is our chip leader right now. Texas Molly, Sam Grizzle down to 22.9. They're all chasing that first place prize, 172,000. And of course, the bracelet. All 4 of these players looking for their first bracelet. Crook Easy says, should have been getting ready for work over the last hour, but I've been watching this instead. Hey, cool, man. Just tell your boss, if you have a boss, that Sam Grizzle made the final table and you couldn't stop watching. He'll totally understand. Tiger Saw says, or that could be Tiger Awe, I don't know, says, when can international players enter? Well, the World Series of Poker is actually running bracelet events from July 1st all the way through September 6th, I think. Now, the events run on WSOP.com from July 1st through July 31st. And those are can only play if you are in Nevada or New Jersey. You don't actually have to live there. You just actually physically have to be in the state of New Jersey or Nevada. All in, Omni, looking for some help here. And he gets there. Oh, that's so sick. 8 of clubs, and he's up to 20 million. And man, you got to feel for Eric Blair. He keeps getting it in with the best of it and just cannot win these. And Eric Blair now our short stack to 9.1 million. Another river changes the fortunes of a player, and that's now Omni 27 on 19.1 million. Bill Luga on 7.5. So as I was saying, if you are physically in the states of Nevada or New Jersey, you can play on WSOP.com and play for a bracelet. Those events start at 3 p.m., and that runs through the month of July. WSOP bracelet events are also running on GG Poker starting on July 19th. If you're international, you can play on those, and those run through early September. I believe there are 85 bracelet events in all spread among the two different sites. Omni betting 1.6 million into 5.8. It's not a huge bet, but it's a huge percentage of Bill Luga's stack. Oh, there's the all-in 5-6 of spades. And an unfortunate time for Eric Blair. He is gone. Omni with the full house. Omni 27 now up to 29.3 million. And suddenly it's Omni 27 is our chip leader. Eric Blair, of course. That's his 5th World Series of Poker final table. That is his 6th cash this series. We're only 10 events in, and he has 6 cashes. 5 final tables now, 2 circuit rings. He'll have to wait another day to win a bracelet, but he does take home $57,000. The remaining 3 players all guaranteed $77,725. Keith, the chess player. I don't know if I'll be doing some GG events or not. TBD. Jim Lad 999. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, wins a nice little pot there. He's the 33 million chips. And it is now Texas Molly, Sam Grizzle, who is our short stack. Blinds are 400,000, 800,000. Still not a lot of chips in play. You do the math, there's about 80 million chips in play, a little bit over. So about 100 big blinds in play, divided among these 3 players. CC Calcano says, I'm rooting for I'm sorry. A win here would be epic. Yeah, a second place finish 24 hours ago. And he comes back the next day, and he's going to have at least a top 3 finish. Dodakist says Tuchman has a bald head. No, I'm not bald, okay? I just cut my hair. There's a difference, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with being bald, okay? Go ahead, be bald. But this is a choice. I just cut my hair. In the age of COVID, I feel like, there's some, like, listen, I'm a poker player. What we do is, we try to figure out risk versus reward. To me, going to a barber and getting a haircut, not necessary. I use the clippers and no chops. The World Series of Poker. They're playing for a bracelet. Grizzles, by the way, is found them. He's down to 15.8 million chips. Still has about 20 big blinds, but obviously not nearly as comfortable as he was just about 25 minutes ago. Players are going to go on a break momentarily, but I'm not going anywhere. We don't take breaks here, okay? No. I mean, the stream only lasts like an hour, so. I mean, I don't have Nathan Gamble hair, but I've got a full head of hair. It will grow back. Knock on wood. Bite my tongue. I don't think 8-3 is going to win it here. Nice little pot for Texas Molly. He's up to 20.1 million chips. And the players are on break. MJG 91680 says, I can't tell if I'm going bald or I just screwed up my haircut. What's the difference, right? Whatever. C. Calcano says, just crossed the hour mark. Man, okay, so let's talk about last night. I'm sorry. Finished in second place yesterday. I mean, not earlier in the series. Yesterday, 24 hours ago, he finished in second place. And here he is, our chip leader with 35.8 million chips. If you're wondering who he lost to a guy named Ron McMillan. We didn't know his name until Chad Holloway tweeted it. Chad Holloway, of course, of Poker News, does an amazing job. Chad Holloway, in my fantasy football league, also a World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Good poker player, great reporter, super cool dude. He revealed that McDaddy 15 was Ron McMillan. Okay? The coolest thing was, so Ron McMillan, McDaddy 15, comes back today. He finishes in 65th place, has another good run. But if you did not see this on Twitter, it's worth seeing. Last night, after McDaddy won, actually, while he was winning, they took video of the final hand. Somehow, Chad Holloway got it and retweeted it, and it has gone pretty much viral. It's fantastic. So we're going to get that up for you momentarily. It's pretty awesome.
Yes! He's got chips. He's got a mill. He's got a mill.
That was the final hand last night. Ron McMillan, I don't know who he was with, but the final hand, if you want to see it again, you can just go. It's on Twitter. I retweeted it. Chad Holloway was the original one who put it out there. It was fantastic. Put a huge smile on my face. You know, I mean, 2020 has been a year, right, for all of us. And that was, when it comes to poker, I love seeing things like that. Just put a huge smile on my face. It's one of the reasons I love doing what I do. And just awesome. Stozy Poke says that's what euphoria looks like at World Series of Poker. Yeah, no, it was awesome. But congratulations to MacDaddy 15, who wins his first bracelet last night, and then of course comes back today and finishes 65th. Other notables who cashed today: Anthony Zeno, Jeff Gross, Jason Somerville, Carrie Katz, Ian Steinman, who's having a fantastic series. Robert Kuhn, we've talked about him. What can you say about Sam Grizzle, Texas Molly? Makes his last World Series of Poker final table 21 years ago. And this today, we are witnessing his best ever World Series of Poker result right here. Norman Chad, ESPN, says Mike Sexton in his book. I was sitting right next to Sam Grizzle at the Horseshoe during Binion's Hall of Fame poker tournament. Our table is right next to the wall where they had pictures of the members of the Hall of Fame. Sam said, Sexton, they should take all those pictures down and put one big picture of me up. I busted everyone on that wall except Wild Bill Hickok. Sounds like Grizzle. It's funny. I've always thought that a lot of people look like their dog, or maybe their dog looks like them. You know what I mean? You see a guy walking a dog and you're like, yeah, they fit, right? You see a girl walking a dog, you're like, yep, they kind of go together. Once in a while, you get somebody whose name works with them. And Sam Grizzle, I mean, perfect name, right? I mean, it's almost like it was a script written. And you'd be like, yeah, let's just make him Sam Grizzle. Just pretty awesome. Surprise, it's Jesse. Says, I have a cat. I do not look like my cat. Okay. JTADO says, are you the, oh my God, guy that commented the Durr versus Ivy hand? I am that guy, but it was actually, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was an epic hand. That was over one, I think it was 1.2 million. Straight over straight. Phil Ivey, Tom Dwan. I did that commentary with Robert Williamson III, and completely unrehearsed, but we knew we couldn't, we had to keep it clean. It wasn't a stream. Oh my gosh, came out. I will never live it down. I know. They're back. I'm sorry, looking to finish up what he started last night. Second place finish last night. Can he get the bracelet tonight? That's Ryan Togerson on the 27. Is Brandon Ian. Under 100,000 in live tournament winnings. He does have 209,000 in winnings on 888 New Jersey. So on 888 Poker, he's been crushing. That is from Pocket Fives. I'm sorry, all in here. And there's a fold. I'm sorry, starting to leverage his stack. By the way, about a $30,000 difference between second and third. Limits are now 500,000, 1 million. Grizzle with the min raise. On the 27. Makes the call. Queen 10-5, 2 clubs out there. My very first year playing at the World Series of Poker was the last year I was at Binion's. And I always cherish that. You know, the fact that I was able to play a World Series event at the legendary Binion's Horseshoe on Fremont Street. I recently visited the Binion's. I was there with Norman Shad for an 888 poker ride, 888 ride. You guys can check that out. It's available on YouTube. Norman and I are pretty close. Brings me donuts. Three-handed here. 77,000 to our next elimination and 172,000 up top. Omni up to 26.8 million. Still anybody's tournament. I mean, obviously, Texas Molly, Sam Grizzle is the short stack, but he's still got 20 bigs. Marshak says, love the Golden Nugget. That was actually where I stayed during my very first World Series of Poker. At my second table I ever played at, I played the employees event, finished in 11th place, and then the next day I played a 1,500 No Limit Hold'em event, and at my very first table I sit down, and I still remember it, I'm in seat 8, and Doyle Brunson, that's right, Doyle friggin' Brunson is in seat 4. All in from I'm sorry. Back over to Texas Molly. Does Grizzle want to call off? No, he doesn't. And I'm sorry, now up to 39 million chips, starting to pull away a little bit. Norman Chad says, I only bring Tuck donuts because I lost a prop bet to Sam Grizzle at an IHOP in Lubbock, Texas. Jack 10 deuce, 2 hearts. Omni 27 bets. Omni takes it down. Raichu 2 says, Grizzle getting killed by the ICM experts. Yeah, you wonder how comfortable Ryan has to be right now. Ryan Togerson, I'm sorry. After finishing in second last night, another final table, another chance at a bracelet. He just seems so comfortable right now. Once again, thanks for joining us. I'm David Tuchman. We're here each and every night in July. Ace of Clubs on the turn. 4.8 million in there. Omni 27 going to bet and take that one down. He's up to 29.6 million. Norman Chad says Sam Grizzle thinks ICM is a business machine company. What a treat. We've been really lucky this series. I mean, an online series with buy-ins, you know, so far we've seen the buy-ins 400, 500, 1,000. entries anywhere from say 900 to 2100. Yet each and every final table, we're getting some names, whether it's Jason Somerville, Tony Dunst, Sam Grizzle, Phil Hellmuth made a run and finished in 11th place in one of these. Jeff Madsen, final table bubbled, I want to say yesterday as well, or 2 days ago. Levels are 15 minutes long. Playing 500,000, 1 million. What's up, drawing a money 13? Yeah, Mike the Mouth. Matisow. He made a couple of deep runs as well. Kind of tarnished the impressive performance that he's had this series with what he did after he got eliminated in one event. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. But that's just the mouth being the mouth. Not acceptable in my book and many others as well. But again, that's Mike Matisow being Mike. 3 players, about 83 big blinds in play. Once again, about a $29,000 pay difference between second and third, but nearly $195,000 difference between third and first. I'm sorry, folding the button. Limped pot here, Jack 4-3, very dry. See if Omni just takes a shot at it. Kind of like this. Yeah, Grizzle's just going to miss that flop so often. And you can see that Grizzle's playing a little bit tighter. I think at this point, it's probably fair to say that Sam Grizzle is not, a no limit hold'em specialist for 2020. I mean, hey, I could be totally off base here. I mean, he could be, studying run it once videos left and right, be using solvers, but I don't think so. Dudakis says, if you didn't see Negreanu raging out today, you must find the clips and watch. It's funny. Yeah, Daniel's been streaming for about an hour a day. It's kind of fun. I mean, that's the one thing, the one bonus of having the World Series of Poker be online is you can watch your favorite poker players. Daniel Negreanu streams for an hour. I know Matt Stout was streaming for a little bit. I'm not suggesting that Matt Stout is anybody's favorite poker player, but I like him. Good old Matty. His wife Brittany made a deep run yesterday. And then, of course, Jeff Platt takes over, usually 10 p.m. Pacific time. And then we get the final table. It's like tag team commentary. You go from player to player to commentator to commentator. C. Calcano says there have been some pretty awesome poker streams as of late. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the only frustrating thing for me is being in LA. I physically, I could not do what Jeff Platt is doing. And I don't want to. He's doing a great job. But it would be really nice if I could find a follow and watch everything. I'm reliant on people streaming the tables. Rocky 200 says, Tuck, who is your player of the series so far? Bustin' Balls. Yeah, hard to say. I mean, Bustin' Balls or I'm Sorry are like, neck and neck right now. I mean, if I'm Sorry finishes out and gets a first and a second place finish 10 events in, it's hard to say that he's not. That said, Robert Kuhn has just had a fantastic series. So, both those players certainly in the mix. Ian Steinman, definitely top 5, top 6. Jason Somerville has had a good series. He made a final table. He also cashed in this event. All in here for Texas Molly. Another all in. We're going to see it here. Queen Jack versus tens. There's a queen. Hold, club, or 10. Oh, you know what? It's only fitting. It is only fitting that a river would eliminate another player. Now, it could have been a club also. It wasn't the club. It was the 10. And just like that, Sam Grizzle. Texas Molly is out in third place. He'll take home $77,725, his best ever World Series of Poker result. And here we are, heads up for it all. I'm sorry. What a story this is. I'm sorry. Back-to-back top 2 finishes. He is playing for a bracelet on back-to-back nights. He's got the chip lead here, though. About a 2-to-1 chip advantage over Omni 27. Can he close this one out? Radio Dave says, so long to the grizzled veteran. Well said. James the Bear says, if Togerson wins tonight, then he's definitely leading for player of the year. He might be leading anyway. I mean, a second place finish and then another second or another first. Pretty insane. But right now, I would imagine it's him and Robert Kuhn who's busting balls. They've got to be neck and neck right now. Shout out to our producers, Aiden, Saum, the entire team over at PokerGO, Poker Central, putting this together. Look at all the cash on the table. I want to thank you all for joining us wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon. 3 in the morning here on the West Coast. Panicfish says, I'm sorry, needs to win because Bustin' Balls is going to win 2 more. Certainly possible. The way he's running right now, the way he's playing. By the way, I mean, Robert Kuhn, not only did he win a bracelet, but the night he won a bracelet, he also won the 215 nightly on WSOP.com for $21K. Yeah, what a heads-up battle this is. Mighty Cyclone points it out. Heads up for $65,000. Omni 27, that is Brandon Ian, whose career live tournament winnings is only 93.5. He's playing for 65 right now. Both these players guaranteed 6 figures, though. The loser of this heads-up match will take home $106,000. Great Finley says Sam Grizzle was clearly outclassed, unfortunately. Hey, a great run by Sam Grizzle. Again, I mean, 21 years after his last World Series of Poker final table, he makes the final table, finishes in third place. You got to tip your hat. The original arch nemesis, the original villain to Phil Hellmuth, back when we all fell in love with poker. Get a raise here. I'm sorry, going up to 6 million. Not a ton of chips in play, but at the same time, you know, they're deep enough where we might be here for, you know, a little while. Chips could go back and forth for a bit or two. Jack 3, pretty dry flop. Yeah, Chris 2856. Yeah, the Hellmuth Grizzle back and forth in 2003 on TV was hilarious, no doubt. Ryan Togerson without a World Series of Poker cash before 5 days ago. Then he comes in 279th, then second, and now maybe first. Norman Chad in the chat, dropping the knowledge. Yeah, I'm sorry. Obviously playing great poker. Also got lucky. Thalo in the chat pointing out that, he did get it all in with King 3 against the Ace 7 for his tournament life. Survived that. He also got it in with, I think it was Queen Deuce versus Jack 4. I mean, basically a flip. I mean, there's a slight favorite there. But show me somebody who wins a poker tournament that doesn't get lucky at some point. This pot is huge, by the way. 25.7 million in there. All in. Could this be it? No, Omni 27 gets out of the way. But with that pot, though, you see now, I'm sorry, with more than a 3-1 chip lead. All in, Ace 8 versus Ace 7. This could be it. Looking for a 6, a spade, or 7. It does not happen. The 8 plays. The 8 plays. It's over. That is it. Ace 8 versus Ace 7. No pair, no flush. And the Ace 8 plays, the kicker plays, and we have a winner. And what a 26 hours for Ryan Togerson. Comes in second place last night, backs it up tonight, and he wins it all, $172,000 after coming in second place yesterday. As Norman Chad just said, the guy hadn't even cashed in a World Series of Poker event until a week ago. And now he has a second place finish and a bracelet to his name. This is almost Jeff Madsen 2006 like. What a final table this was. Eric Blair, who got knocked out in fourth place. Sam Grizzle, making his first final table at the World Series of Poker in 21 years, finishing in third place. And, of course, Omni 27, finishing in second place, taking home 6 figures. But when it was all said and done, over 2,000 entries, I'm sorry. After coming in second yesterday, comes in first place tonight. Congratulations on your first ever World Series of Poker bracelet. Shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys were awesome. Friday is chat night. We are back at it tomorrow, July 11th, the $500 No Limit Hold'em Turbo Deep Stack. It will be an earlier night. Make sure you tune in here, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. For everybody at PokerGO, for everybody at the World Series of Poker, for all you guys in the chat, I'm David Tuchman. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.